We all want to find that girl in our lives that completes us, that one special girl that just makes us feel whole, where we can share our most deepest, darkest passions with, where we can hold hands, cuddle, things of that nature, and just live a normal, healthy relationship, not dealing with any external forces such as our parents, if they're racist or if they're on some bullshit, or what her friends are thinking because you work at this certain job and you're not in this tax bracket yet or whatever. But this girl loves you for you. She loves you for your mind. She loves you for your spirit. She loves you for your heart and soul. Meaning that when you're sitting down with her talking and you have a thought in your head and boom, the same type of thought pops in her head, or she finishes your sentences and words and things of that nature, you guys click like peanut butter and jelly, like a plasma gun or on a laser or a plasma on like a plasma gun or on a defense platform or something of that nature. But a lot of guys in certain positions, especially economically, you know, it deters at your confidence and it smashes your accomplishments, and it makes it very difficult for you to focus and try to build that necessary self-esteem, motivation, and confidence. And we don't have that female attention and validation. A lot of men right now are suffering in silence. They wake up, they go to their 9 to 5s, they go to school, they come back, and their soul is still isolated. Even though they were around people all day, they still feel alone. And many people feel this way. It's absolutely brutal. Me, to be honest, I have no problem being alone, being by myself. I kind of like it that way, to be totally honest. But I want to have a team of people that are extremely specialized in certain skills and attributes, and we work together and we build something that can create generational wealth, something that can be monetized, something that can be profound, something that we can never imagine, and it actually happens for us. But having that girl on your side, people underestimate the power of having the right female in your life, how that motivates you, how that validates your manhood in a lot of ways. Nothing feels like you don't feel more of a man when you're hitting it from the back and making that natty smack. You know what I mean? Like, that's gonna make you feel confident, make you feel happy. When a lot of guys are going sexless, they're going years without having physical contact or touch with women. That's bad. It's bad if you're a grown man and you went, a year without sex, or months, or some people years, and you're a certain age. That's not good on your confidence, and it's not good for your psychology. So any guys going through that, man, it's a difficult situation. You're gonna have to figure out a way to get out that situation, because nobody's gonna help you, especially when you're a grown man and you don't offer people anything. You know, we live in a society where everything's transactional. But imagine having that one girl that's for you. The girl that when you see her smile, it makes you happy. Her energy is infectious. The way she thinks, the way she looks at the world, and she has your back and she wants to see you win. Now, we already know that this is, reserved for the Chads and the Tyrones and people of that nature and stature. But every now and then, some people get lucky, and it's probably due to genetics and wealth, to be real. But every now and then, some person gets lucky. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but you see a guy who's people would consider traditionally unattractive, and he has a bad bitch, or he has a girl that's pretty cool. But you got to be very careful. Just like an onion, you got to peel back the layers. You peel back the layers of the relationship, and you find out that he's not really hitting it like that. She's using him, for the car, and then she's going cheating on him behind his back. All types of nefarious deeds that go on. So finding that girl that's for you and that's not going to cheat on you or whatever, it's going to be pretty much difficult if you don't have a certain personality or you don't have a certain look. You know what I mean? Because we can talk personality all day. At the end of the day, some of the most beautiful people have some of the most ugliest personality, and some of the most ugliest people have the most beautiful personality. But the world doesn't judge you on what's inside. The world judges you on what they can see, what they can visually see instantaneously. It's why having faith and belief is just extremely hard. Notice how people who are religious, they'll have faith in a religion, but they don't have faith in not being a bastard or being an asshole. Goes back to the Salem witch trials. It goes back to when they used to burn the medieval days, when they were burning people at the stake. They were burning teenage girls at the stake, saying they were witches. But they didn't have no type of mercy or compassion, try to understand these girls. Just say, you're a witch, you deserve to die. And it's just like, how's that any type of compassion or resilience to wickedness when you just give in to the dark side and do exactly what the dark side wants, which is more death energy, more destruction. You got to be really strong to be in this situation and dealing with economics, dealing with psychological issues, dealing with people around you trying their best because they hate you. They're trying their best to destroy you, dealing with people online trying to destroy you, and you still maintain, you still make videos, you still try to create, you still make beats, you still. Now it takes a strong mind. Not everybody can go through this. Most people who went through what I went through in this situation alone, in the last year, most people would have went through this. They would have off themselves. Even your favorite black pillars, your favorite YouTubers you guys watch all the time. You guys know damn well they didn't go through what I went through. Getting doxxed, having your real life affected by some random strangers online who just got obsessed with you. And they get your channels blocked, multiple times. And even then, my channel still, it's not growing like it used to, but it's, I guess it's getting somewhere. The views are, whatever, But I don't know. I guess I kind of got used to seeing, thousands of views and stuff like that, and hundreds of comments, and being a staple in the community, I guess. Well, not really. People hated me. People only hated me because I was black. Let's just be real. If I was white like DBDR, my channel would have been way bigger, and I would have a lot more support right now. Like if all 3,041 people would have gave me $1 or gave $5, just give me $1 a month. That'd be $3,000 a month. That'd be more than enough for me to get my own place and start my life. And if I was any other person on here and I had a skin color configuration of a lighter tonality or a lighter vibrancy, I guarantee you, people I would have had a lot more support than what I have now, you know, and that's the truth. They targeted me because I was black. As simple as that. And that's the truth, according to their words themselves, They didn't want an N-word getting too big for his bridges. And that's crazy to me because I don't really consider that. I try not to speak on race too much. I try not to make things racial issues. But when somebody attacks you and gets you doxxed and kicked out of your house and left in a fuck position and puts you around people who just can't stand your presence, I'm talking about people who just look at you and they hate you. You don't have to do anything to them. You know what I mean? They just hate your presence. And it's like, I don't want to, I just want to be around people that are conducive to my presence. And when I make beats, they salute for me. I can make beats with a Nick Mara all day. We can make beats, make money, make music, and live lives that are prosperous instead of lives that are delegated to emotional destabilizations from morally corrupt spirits. You see, isolation breeds wisdom. The more you're isolated and away from the noise in the world, the more you have a chance to think with clarity and transparency. And you start to notice people will just hate you just because of how you look like. And at least if you have that girl to come home to, that nice, good girl in your life, that can make things a lot more easier. As they say, a woman's a man's partner, And having the right woman can take you to heights you can't even imagine. But having the wrong woman can take you down to the depths of Hades, to the depths of Tartarus, to the depths of oblivion, where the fallen angels are imprisoned, you know? Yeah, it's absolutely brutal. But I guarantee a lot more people in our economically down position will be a lot more happier in life if they had the right woman in their life. The right woman, not just any bitch, the right one. Point blank, period. You know? So, little food for thought right there, man. I hope all you guys listening can make it, at least the ones that don't hate me. Because I know all my haters listen to every video I make, which is crazy, but they hate me, right? It's ridiculous. Wish we could find out who these people are. But anyway, I want to wish you guys, a good weekend, stay safe out there and don't let the haters get to you, man. And I hope you guys find a nice girl in your lives too, so y'all can be happy, fruitful, and multiply and all that stuff. But I feel about bringing new souls into a world like this, man. It's just, I'm not gonna even get into that, but hope you guys stay happy, man, and try to cope, man, and try not to rope and try not to lose hope, and keep doing your thing, man. Peace.